Allah Yahweh. How you doing, prophetess? Prophetess? How you doing? Alaikum Shalom, prophetess. Power up.
Allah Yahweh, praise Yahweh. We thank Yahweh for this young, We thank Yahweh for life, health, and strength. The entitlement is Christianity is schism to the Bible. It is schism to the Bible because a lot of people think Christianity and the Bible go hand in hand, but that is a falsehood. The Bible can stand alone without Christianity. The Bible can stand alone without any form, fashion of religion or any doctrine of man. The Bible is a stand-alone book. It stands alone. But Christianity and any other thing that you strive for cannot stand without the book. This is why the book is coming up under so much fire. The first writings in the renewed covenant. This is why it's coming up under so much, because when people that are in the church, they think that Christianity, produced the Bible or wrote the Bible, and they think that the Bible that Christianity is unadulterated and that Christianity comes from the Father. No, the Bible came from the Father. Christianity came out of man. That's what we need to realize. And the church needs to realize. So anybody that have listening ears that's in the church, listen, the Bible don't need the church. It never did, and the Bible never will. And what is amazing is how Christianity has had the offspring of the church, and Christianity doesn't do anything in the Bible according to the feast days of the Bible. Put it this way, Christianity refutes and refuses to acknowledge what thus saith Yahweh, what thus saith the Most High, thus saith the Creator of all things. Christianity has come and produced, the church has come out of Christianity, and they say that these things are done away with. But when you walk out your front door, you're subject to the laws of man. But you're not subject to a law, and you're not subject to the commandments and the ordinance and the statutes of Yahweh. So just remember, the Bible teaches you how to observe Passover. When you get in the renewed covenant, the second writing, it doesn't teach you how to observe Passover. It teaches you a people that learned how to observe Passover from the Torah, from the first writings. They did not make up anything on their own. They took Leviticus 23. In Leviticus 23, you will find all of the feast days. You will find the 7 feast days. And I say 8 because the Sabbath day is also a part of Yahweh's salvation plan. And after we have gone through the process of the 7 feast days, then we will truly enter into the Sabbath of Yahweh. The first four feast days, they are what feast? They are what feast? They are spring feast. And then we have fall feast. We have a fall festival also. Okay? We have a fall festival also. We already know what the spring festival is. We know that it is Pesach, which is Passover. Passover is supposed to be the death. Well, I'm coming up in time. I'm coming to the second writings now, because I'm kind of like dealing with my brothers and sisters that's in the church. Yeshua being killed would represent Pesach. That would be represent Passover. You would say Yeshua was killed on Passover, which we know that's to be Wednesday, not Friday. So he was killed on Pesach. He was resurrected on unleavened bread. Buried. He was buried. I mean, he was buried on unleavened bread. The day after, he was buried. He was put in the tomb. That's unleavened bread. That's unleavened bread. Then after he goes through his unleavened bread, you go back and you count the days from when he was seen, and then you will see he was seen on first fruits. It's when he was seen of the women on first fruits. On first fruits. It's when he was seen. And then, okay, he was raised on what? He was raised on first fruits. Raised up on first fruits, buried on unleavened bread, raised on first fruits, and then he sent the Ruach HaKadosh 49 days later, 50 days later. He sent the Ruach HaKadosh is what he sent, which is Shavuot, which is the giving of Torah, which is the giving of Torah. Is when the so-called the upper room, well, the only reason they was in the upper room was because of the feast. That is the only reason that they were in the upper room. So I'm kind of fast tracking. I'm coming out hot. I'm coming out hot. I'm kind of heavy. Coming out hot and heavy. You know what I'm saying? Because people have a deaf ear to truth and true information. Now, when you talk about sacrifice in the Bible, certain sacrifices in the Bible, understand that at these festivals, Yahweh has a menu. He has a menu. So the animals have to be killed to be eaten. Don't get thrown off by sacrifice. The animals have to be killed to be eaten. And then because blood is spilled or dispersed, Yahweh said the blood belongs to me. So he may say take it and put it on the doorpost. Or he may say pour it in the ground. Because the blood belongs unto Yahweh. Why? Because the life of man and animals is in the blood. It's in the blood. That's why when people get diseases, they get diseases in the blood. The disease is in their blood. It contaminates the body. It's in the blood. So we understand that we have 4 feasts that are spring, and we have 3 feasts that are in the fall. When we start dealing with the fall feast, the Bible begins to say, woe unto him whose flight is in the winter. So there are things biblically, and they click. They click. It's not a puzzle, but one begins to strengthen and begins to fortify the next one. Because now you're beginning to walk out Yahweh's plan of salvation. So when we get to Shavuot, all right, we know that we're not in the 5th portion of the salvation plan for mankind, because that is Yom Teruah, day of the shouting. You say day of the trumpet. You know, you call it I'm not finna call it what is it, Pentecost. I mean, I'm not gonna use that terminology. That's why y'all heard me say Shaw. That's why y'all heard me say what I said, because I'm very careful, you know what I'm saying, I'm very careful with my verbiage, because people's soul of salvation is counting on somebody that's going to go line upon line and precept upon precept. You understand me? With revelation knowledge, with revelation, with hearing from Yahweh. But you got to keep it in a perspective to where you can also lead people back to Scripture. So let us look at 1 Corinthians 12, and chapter 12 and verse 12. 1 Corinthians 12 and 12. 1 Corinthians 12 and 12. The Bible reads, for as the body is one and have many members, and all the members of that one body being many are one body, so also is Messiah. For by one Spirit are we all baptized into one body, whether it be of the Hebrew or the Gentile, whether it be bond or free, and have been all made to drink into one Spirit. For the body is not one member, but many. But many. So let's look at some of the schism that Christianity has brought into the body of Messiah. That's why I gave y'all what Pesach was, what unleavened bread was, and what the first fruit was, and then after the first fruit, which is the giving of the Torah, which is Shavuot, which they call Pentecost. They call it Pentecost. I believe that's what they 50 days they call it Pentecost. Penta means 50. So that's what they're calling it, a Greek word. That's why I backed out of that. It just came out of that. Nothing, Greek is a good, nice language to learn. Okay? So we see that. Let me read verse 25 in 1 Corinthians 12 and 25. That there should be no schism, no division in the body, but that the members should have the same care one for another. It's hard to walk with no toes. It's hard to walk without a heel on your foot. It's hard to walk with no calf muscle. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to hold a glass with no thumb. And so on and so on. So the body has to be tightly and jointly fitted together. And the scheme and the schism of things with Christianity is Christianity brought schism in the Bible. Let's look at how it brought schism in the Bible, because the Bible teaches you how to observe Passover. So let's look at Exodus chapter 13. Look at Exodus chapter 13. Exodus chapter 13 and verse 1. Let's observe this. Let's observe this. 13. And Yahweh spoke unto Moshe, saying, sanctify unto me all the firstborn, whatsoever openeth the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and of beast. It is mine. It belongs to Yahweh. So that's the first thing we need to get back. We need to get back to dedicating our males that are the firstborn unto Yahweh. We need to get back to dedicating our males back unto Yahweh. When it comes out, you give the child back to Yahweh. Okay? Got to get the child back to Yahweh. All right? It says, and Moses said unto the people, remember this day in which you come out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage, for by strength of hand Yahweh brought you out from this place. Yahweh brought you out from this place. There shall no leavened bread be eaten. This day came you out in the month of Abib. And it shall be when Yahweh shall bring you into the land of the Canaanites and the Hittite, the Amorite, the Hivite, the Jebusites, which he swore unto thy fathers to give thee, a land flowing with milk and honey, that thou shalt keep this service in this month. Now the Bible clearly tells us when to keep this service, when to keep Passover. You understand me? Christianity refuses to do what the Bible says do. This is what I want to get the point across to you. And you're not going to be able to pick it up in the second writing, the renewed covenant. So Christianity has caused schism for you, that you will not be on one accord with Yahweh. Listen to the book. 7 days thou shalt eat unleavened bread, and in the seventh day shall be a feast to Yahweh. Unleavened bread shall be eaten 7 7 days, and there shall no leavened bread be seen with thee, neither shall there be leaven seen with thee in all thy quarters. Now that tells you how to observe Passover. The rest you will pick up in Leviticus 23. What are the items, what are the food items that are required in Yahweh's Passover? Let us look at Leviticus 23. See, the second writers don't give you this. So if you've done away with them, then how do you know what you're observing? And how do you know if you are observing it correctly? Who taught you what you know to be the way of observation? If you didn't get it from the first writings, where was your doctrine created? Where did it come from? Where did ascend, descend, rescend, where did it come from? Whatever you want to use. Leviticus 23 verses 4 through 8. These are the feasts of Yahweh, even the holy convocation which you shall proclaim in their seasons. In the 14th day of the first month at evening is Yahweh's Passover. Did you hear what the book says? Did you hear what the book says? Cannot be adulterated, cannot be changed. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto Yahweh. 7 days you must eat unleavened bread. In the first day you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no surreal work therein, but you shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh 7 days. And the 7th day is the holy convocation. You shall do no surreal work therein. So because they have told you that this is done away with, and you have saying that Yeshua is he is your sacrificial lamb. Well, Yeshua gave you an instruction before he was killed, to take this, and this is my body, the bread, and this is the meat, my new covenant, which is broken. These things are done and broken for you. But he's not talking about him. He's talking about the feast that's in the Torah. He knows he's not the feast. He's just bridging a gap from sin to salvation. He's just bridging a gap from man back to Yahweh so that man could be in good standing. That's why Yeshua is the renewed covenant. Because he was a sacrifice to renew the covenant that Yahweh established at Horeb with our forefathers. Yahweh was reestablishing that covenant with all that would not come through Christianity, but all that would come through by way of his 10 commandments, his feast days, and his Sabbath day. This is what he was restoring. He wasn't bringing anything new because there's nothing new under the sun. So there was nothing new to be brought forth. Okay? Let's keep that point. So if we are teaching and we are observing the Passover, then we must observe the biblical Passover and not your pastor's Passover. Not your prophet's Passover. Not your missionary's Passover. Not your church Passover. Your church don't have the power to have a Passover. Your church can't save you. Your ministry can't save you. These are discrepancies that you must meet head on, and you must figure these things out. Why, if the church uses the Bible, it does not do what the Bible inclines any law-abiding person that subscribes to the Bible, why they don't do it? Let us look at Luke. Let's look at Luke chapter 2. Let's establish some lines. Let's establish some things. Luke chapter 2. Because there's a lot of people coming in that's confused. There's confusion. Luke chapter 2, verse 41 through 43. Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of Passover. That's where I want you. At the feast of Pesach. Every year, Mary and Joseph went to, in the land, they made a pilgrimage, they made a hajj for the feast of Passover. So why the church? Why the church through Christianity is not keeping it? Because Yeshua was an example. His life was an example for us to follow. Not for us to make up anything of our own. Listen to the book. And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast. And when they had fulfilled, this is a fulfillment, when they had fulfilled this righteous act, which is unleavened bread, it's directly after. So you can't be released from that. And we know that after that, it's first fruits. It's first fruits. And we know that after first fruits is what? That's why I separate. That's why I gave you the 4 festivals, the 4 spring and the 4 fall. You're gonna need to know those. You're gonna need to know them. You're gonna need to know them. You're gonna need to know them, because after we do our first fruits, and then we make another hajj, another pilgrimage to the foot of Mount Sinai to receive the what? To receive the law, to receive the giving of Torah, the giving of Torah. Selah, Selah. Okay, listen to the book. And when they had fulfilled the days as they returned, the child Yeshua tarried behind in Jerusalem, and Joseph and his mother knew not of it. They didn't know of it. They didn't know what he was doing. Okay, so he stayed behind. He stayed behind. So they were released. I'm showing you that if you're saying that early Christianity is in the book, then Christianity gonna need to follow what the people of the book follow. First fruits is not income tax season. That's not first fruits. First fruits is going to fall biblically in Leviticus, where it says first fruits shall fall. And that's what we have to get back to. Let us look at John 2 and 23. Now when he was in Jerusalem at Passover, in the feast day, many believed in his name when they saw the miracles which he did. So he's at Passover again. Let's go back to Luke 22. Luke 22 and 7. Luke 22 and 7. Then came the day of unleavened bread, when the Passover must be killed. And he sent Peter and John, saying, Go and prepare us the Passover, that we may eat. And they said unto him, Where wilt thou? Where we gonna go, and where is this place of preparation? And he said unto them, Behold, when ye are entered into the city, there shall be a man that's going to meet you, bearing a pitcher of water. Follow him into the house where he entered in, and you shall say unto him, to the good man of the house, the master, the Messiah saith unto thee, Where is the guest chamber, where I shall eat the Passover with my disciples? And he shall show you a large upper room furnished, there make ready. So, 13, and they went and found as he had said unto them, and they made ready the Passover. And when the hour was come, he sat down, and the 12 apostles with him. And he said unto them, With desire I have desired to eat this Passover with you before I suffer. For I say unto you, I will not any more eat thereof until it be fulfilled in the kingdom of Yahweh. Then he goes to tell them, And he took the cup and he gave thanks and said, take this cup and divide it among yourselves. For I say unto you, I will not drink of the fruit of the vine until the kingdom of Yahweh shall come. And he took the bread and gave thanks and brake it and gave unto them, saying, this is my body, which is given for you. Given for you, this do in remembrance of me. Likewise, also the cup after supper, saying, this cup is the renewed covenant in my blood. That shouldn't be New Testament. It should be, this cup is the renewed covenant by which my blood is shed, which is shed for you. That's what that should read. That should read New Testament. It should read renewed covenant, because he's renewing something that was already established. So that was already established, okay? And nowhere does Yeshua say that taking this cup or taking this communion, no way do he say that this is an order, this is a statute. He don't say that this is a statute. The law and the statute, the commandment, is back in Leviticus 23. And it's back in Exodus, which tells you how to observe the Passover. Yeshua just walking it out. Yeshua is walking out what's already been laid, the foundation. He's that lamb now. He's the sacrificial, he's the lamb. He's the Lamb of Yah. Behold, the Lamb of Yah, which takes away the sin of man. He's the Lamb. So what power does the Lamb have? The power has no lamb other to go but unto the slaughter. That's why the Bible said that he didn't say a mumbling word, because he went like a lamb. He went like a lamb before the shears and to be slaughtered. He didn't say a mumbling word. Why? Because his power and his authority was in his words. It was in his word. So he couldn't say nothing, because the power is in the word. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. That's why he told him he was up. That's why he told him when he was dying, when he was suffering, he said, look, you think I can't call forth how many legions of angels? You think I can't call them forth and they won't come? He said, but it is not so. But this is prophecy, and this must come forth. This must go forth. So nowhere does it say that Yeshua said that you must take communion, that you must take a wafer and you must take a wine, or you must take a grape juice. If that's something that you want to add to Passover do, then that is fine. But there's no way that you're going to find that this is what you must do concerning Yeshua. Now let's just walk through this thing. The Bible said, this is what the Bible said. Let's go look at Deuteronomy chapter 5. We're going to move around because we establishing something. We establishing something. Okay, now Deuteronomy chapter 5 tell you that this is the way, this is how you shall be saved. That's what Deuteronomy 5, Deuteronomy 5 saying, this is how you shall be saved. When you come in through this is what's going to bring you into the divine nature of Yahweh. This is how you come into the divine nature of Yahweh, through the commandments. Through the commandments. The feast days begin to show a maturity in you. It begins to show your discipline. It begins to show your allegiance unto Yahweh. But this is to just bring you into the divine nature, put you on the divine path of Yahweh. Listen to the book, 5:1. And Moshe called all of Israel and said unto them, hear, O Israel, the statutes, judgment which I speak in your ears this day, and you may learn them and keep and do them. Yahweh our Abba made a covenant with us in Haran. Yahweh made not this covenant with our fathers, but with us, even us who are all of us here this day. So the Bible is saying that, look, Yahweh already had made a covenant with our fathers, and we are under the same covenant that he made with our fathers. Verse 4, Yahweh talked with me face to face in the mount, out of the mist, of the fire. And I'm going to fall back to verse 3. Yahweh made not this covenant with our fathers, agreement with our fathers, but with us, even us, who are all of us here alive this day. So what he's saying is that there is a covenant in place, but Yahweh is giving us Torah. We are coming to a place that we are receiving divine instruction. Divine instruction. It's going to be written down now. He's going to write it down, and he's going to give it to me. Why? Because where do we just come from? Go back and you just look back where you just came from. You just came out of Exodus. You just came back to Leviticus, which shows you how to demonstrate what Yahweh said, and now you're back in Deuteronomy again. You back in the exhibitions. This is an exhibition because you don't come up through everything. So now this is supposed to be displayed. We're coming to a place to where we're not supposed to be displaying what it is that we gain coming out of Mizraim, out of Exodus, out of Egypt. And when we go and we come through Leviticus is prioritizing, and it is establishing the heads, the headship. It's establishing the priest, the prince, and it's establishing everything through Leviticus and how Yahweh wants us to worship and what Yahweh wants us to bring to his feast days. You know, he's telling us what he wants us to do. So the Bible says, you know, that in 1 and 3, this is how you come in the covenant with Yahweh. But the church tell you that you saved by grace. That you saved by grace over in Ephesians. They tell you that you saved by grace, and then you got to parse that, and then you'll see what it's really saying. It's really saying that you come by way of grace when you come through the laws and when you come through the ordinances and the statutes of Yahweh. Because next, after verse 3, we come to the 10 Commandments. We come to the 10 Commandments. So the 10 Commandments is your structure. The 10 Commandments is what puts you in a place to approach the throne of Yahweh bold. That's why the prophet said, look, I have kept your commandments. I have kept your law. I have kept your statutes. I have kept everything that you have given me. I have kept it. And these things must be kept. And in Christianity decides something that's not biblical to change the day of worship, which Yahweh established. They changed it to Sunday. And now you have people following that worship when that worship is not biblical. It's not in the Bible. It's not in the Bible. Clear point. Listen, what I'm talking about cannot be argued. What I'm talking about is truth, and it's real, and it needs to be addressed, because this is the reason our children are dying in the street, because Christianity has the church asking, and they are asking amiss. They are asking amiss. The things that they are asking for is so that they can consume it with their flesh. They want to consume it with their flesh. That's what they want it for. That's what they want to increase for. That's what they want. The more money, the house, the car. That's what they want. You know, they're not concerned with soul and salvation. That's why they don't want it on them. They don't want to have to do the things of the Bible. So when they came and told them it was done away with, and they showed them everything they had to do, and they were like, okay, good, I'm glad, let's do away with it. No, you cannot do away with it. Not if you prescribe to the Bible, because if you have the Bible, you must do what they did in the first writings and in the second writings. And I showed y'all Yeshua was at Passover. His mom and daddy brought him that every year. Every year. See, the church teaches, Christianity teaches Christmas, but the teaching is not biblical. Christmas is not biblical. So I'm not dealing with anything that's not biblical. Wake up. Wake up, my brothers and sisters. What you're performing in the act that you're performing, I got to ask you, who are you performing these acts for? Because you're not performing these acts for Yahweh, because Yahweh have given you a guideline on the acts that he wants performed. He's giving us a guideline. So I hope that we are getting this. He gives us a guideline. He's giving us a guideline. All right, Christianity has taught the church Easter, but refused to observe Passover at its appointed biblical time and season. And that's another big red flag. Christianity has taught the church that about Easter, but refuses to observe the true biblical Passover in its time and its season. Christianity has also taught the church about first fruits, but not the first fruits of the Bible. And income tax season is not the first fruit of the Bible. They try to tell you, come bring your first fruit because you're getting this influx of money in. No, you ought to be disciplined enough, but after you get your income tax, you hold that Yahweh money and you give your first fruit out of that money at the time appointed. Because that is causing you to mature. That is causing you to walk and operate in patience. That is causing you to be obedient. That breaks up anxiety. It begins to break all kinds of things that are on you, that you have said that you got this, you got that, you got this, you got that. No, Yahweh begins to weed those things out of you. Simple as that. Everything, the reason why the world in the predicament that's in, hurry up and wait, going somewhere fast, because they done away with Yahweh's system that slows man down and put man in mind that the race does not go to the swift, but the race goes to the one that endures to the end in righteousness with morals, integrity, and obedience. See, the world don't have integrity. The world don't have morals. But the world is a well-disciplined system. It is very disciplined. And because they operate through discipline, and we also operate through discipline, but with their discipline, they don't have morals. They don't have integrity. So they can do things that I cannot do. So I'm not finna do what the world do. I'm not finna do what the world do to gain what the world gains, because then their portion gonna be my portion. Listen to the book. Well, listen. Christianity has also taught the church this. They have their own feast days. Christianity has created their own feast days. Pastor anniversary, church anniversary. Christmas is a feast day. Easter is a feast day. Halloween is a feast day for the church now. I mean, but they're feasted, but Christianity has blocked and refuses to allow the church to worship and to praise the Most High Yah. Their praise is of men. Their praise is of mankind. Because they do these things because they wish to get an affection, and they wish to get some type of credibility or some type of acceptance from man. So they bow down. They have feast days on Memorial Day. They have feast days on Veterans Day. They have all these feast days on Thanksgiving. They have all these feast days. And the people don't have sense enough to know where the Bible got biblical feast days. We eat certain things on Thanksgiving. We eat certain things on Christmas that we don't eat all year. So you have a special type of menu. It's not so far hard or so far-fetched to deal with truth. It's not hard at all. It's not hard at all. Listen. Let us turn back to 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians. No, I don't have to be the dead horse. The horse already dead. I gave what I gave. It's going to be a short teaching. I believe a short teaching will be the best for some people because they're not going to, So if they see it short, then they'll look at, they'll listen. If this, man, I ain't listening to that, though. So let's go back to where we stopped off. We stopped at 14. Let's pick up at 15. If the foot should say, because I am not the hand, I am not of the body, it is therefore not. Is it therefore not of the body? And if the ear should say, because I am not the eye, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? Question. If the whole body were an eye, where is the hearing? If the whole were hearing, where is the smelling? But now have Yahweh sent the members, every one of them in the body. He has set the members, every one of them in the body, as it have pleased him. So Christianity is a displeasure to Yahweh because they have changed what Yahweh has established and what Yahweh has determined shall be perpetual. That it shall be throughout all of the generations. That it should be out through all of the generations. Let's turn to Exodus. Exodus chapter 16. I just want to touch. Okay, Exodus chapter 16 and verse 28. And Yahweh said unto Moshe, how long refuse ye to keep my commandments and my laws? Question. See for that Yahweh have given you the Sabbath. Therefore he giveth you on the 6th day the bread of 2 days. Abide ye every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the Sabbath day, 7th day. So the people rested on the 7th day. They rested on the 7th day. So the Shabbat is established. The church can't come and change this. Christianity cannot change this. Christianity cannot change this. It can't be changed. Who gave you the authority to change it? What's their name? Shaul can't change that because the one y'all call Paul can't change that. Paul don't got no authority, so anything I read, whatever y'all say Paul said, Paul can't change nothing. Where in the Bible do it say that Paul had the authority to change what was in Torah and what's in Tanakh? Show me in the Bible. Since so many people, since so many Bible thumpers love saying what Shaul said, even though y'all done took what Paul said, even y'all done took what Paul said, and y'all done you don't understand Hebrew, you don't understand Greek, so you done took what he said, you done made it work out for the fallacy that you're operating in. It's fallacy that you're operating in. It's fallacy. Because it's not biblical. And most things that Christianity teaches is not biblical. It's not in the Bible. They use the Bible to keep you entertained, and they use the Bible to keep you intertwined, but the Bible don't need Christianity. Christianity needs the Bible. That's why I tell people, listen, throw away Christianity. Throw away, if you follow in Christianity, throw that away. If you follow in church, then you have to throw it away. You got to get back to the book. You got to come back to this Bible. To this Bible. And you got to learn these laws, this law, these commandments, and you got to learn the orders and the statutes and the judgments and the feast days, because that's the salvation plan. That's the salvation plan. That's the salvation plan. The Bible tells you that he's going to come back with a shout. That's the day of what? The day of shout. The day of, you call it day of trumpets. That's going to be the fifth feast. Then you only got 2 more after that. You only got 2 more after that. I pray that we get it. Because after that shout, you got atonements, and you got atonement, and you got Yom Kippur. It's what we're gonna have. Atonement is Yom Kippur. The shout, you got the shout. Listen, that fifth feast, game over. That fifth feast, game over, because that's the shout. See, when you hear that shout, come back with a shout, and then within them 10 days, that's 10 days of atonement to make an atonement, and then after that atonement, you going to dwell with Yah in booths. You're going to dwell with Yah in booths. In tabernacle. The feast of tabernacle. The feast of booths. Yes. The feast of Shakur. You going. See, we gotta understand these things, because when you look at the feast days and you look at where we are in the feast days, you got to understand that we are still at the foot of Haran in the feast days. We're not past. We're not in the fall festivals. We're not in those festivals yet spiritually. We're going through them because we're rehearsing the act. The Bible says rehearse the acts. When it is over in Judges, it said that we shall rehearse these acts. So this is a rehearsal. But when that's the day, when that shout, that day of shouting, the day of the shout, and then you got Yom Kippur, your atonement, and then boom, you walk right into what? What's your last one? In gathering. You coming in the feast of booths. You coming in the in gathering. I guess I'm gonna have to go do the breakdown on the 7 feast days then. Right. I guess I'm gonna have to do the break. I don't know. I figure people know it. I figure they know it because it's right in the book. But that's the in gathering. That's the 7 feast days. And then once you finalize it through the booths and the in gathering, where he do the separating, because that's where Yahweh gonna do the separating at. That's where he do it at. And then once he separate, then you're gonna come into what? You're gonna come into Shabbat Shalom. You're gonna come into the peace and the rest of Yahweh. That passes all understanding. Turn with me to Deuteronomy chapter 16 and verse 16. I don't want to lose it because I almost forgot it. And then we're gonna go back to Corinthians, and we're gonna close out in Corinthians. We still at Shavuot. We still at on the feast day scale. We still is at Shavuot. You know why we at Shavuot to give the Torah? Because Torah is the ruling agent. It's the ruling agent until you hear the trumpet, till you hear the shout. Now, once you hear the shout, what's that? Well, that's judgment coming now. That's judgment. But Yahweh left a ruling agent. That's why right now in our feast, we haven't gone past Sinai. We still at the foot of Sinai. We still to the point of the commandment, the laws, commandments, and the statutes, which govern over us. That's why the Bible in the second writing, it keep on hitting. If it be 2 in one bed, one should be taken, and the other one then said there'll be 1 on the roof, and 2 in the field, 1 will be taken. The unrighteous fruit. So that's why it's taken. It's It's a separation. It's a separation. The only thing that they doing over there in the second writings, the renewed covenant, is they're talking about the first writings. So anytime I see something in the second writing, I don't get ruffled, because they can't talk about nothing new. Because ain't nothing new under the sun. They cannot incorporate anything new that's not in the first writings. That's the first thing y'all gotta understand, so y'all not to have no argument. Because you cannot incorporate anything new, because it is not the word of Yah. We get the word of Yah from his mouth in the book of Exodus and in Deuteronomy. We get it from out of his mouth. That's why they were scared. They say, look, man, Moses said, I stood between y'all by reading of the fire because you was afraid. Because Yahweh was doing the talking. Yahweh was talking himself. But look at 16 and 16. What we must also get back to, that Christianity does not teach the church. 3 times in a year shall all males appear before Yahweh thy Abba in the place which he shall choose. In the feast of unleavened bread, in the feast of what? The feast of weeks, and the feast of tabernacles. And they shall not appear before Yahweh empty. And every man shall give his aid according to the blessing of Yahweh, and that Abba Yahweh which he have given him. So when we start going through the feast days, and the 3 times, it's a message in this also. But I'm not going into it. I just want to put you on gingerly take you and put you on the path. Because I'm really talking to my brothers that's still involved in Christianity. That's who I'm really talking to. That's who this message is really for. It's really for you, to show you that you're not doing and abiding by the things in the book. So if you're not abiding by the things in the book, I don't care, because you take your child to church every day it open. The church is not abiding by what the book says. The church not doing it, because the church is a spinoff of Christianity. So if you don't have it, then your child don't have it. And then your child's child don't have it. So then now there is a disconnect, and our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because they reject knowledge. And I shall also reject you, and I shall forget your children. So what he was actually saying was, look, your children gonna get so far off from me because you're not going to instill sound doctrine. Because my sound doctrine had to be walked out. My sound doctrine ain't to be preached, hoop, and hollering and doing handstands and walking across chairs preaching. No, my sound doctrine is supposed to be lived out by all mankind. That's sound doctrine. Sound doctrine ain't sound if you can't do it. And people around you see what you do, and then they have a problem. That your good start to be evil spoken of. Because they see how you living, and they say, look, I can't live like that, so I'm going to tear them down. I can't live like that, so I'm going to talk about them. I'm going to say, oh, they think they all that. Oh, you think you this, and oh, you think you that. Let them talk, people. Let them talk. Let them talk. So we need to get back to 3 times in a year, all males shall appear before y'all. It's in the book. We don't have our males, and my wife preaching this for years. You got to get the males back before Yahweh. You got to do what the book say do. I hear a lot of stuff and a lot of talking, but people not talking about the book. They're not talking about what is the joy of Yahweh. This is the joy of Yahweh I'm giving y'all. This is the joy. This what brings Yahweh joy. This what brings the creator of all things joy. This brings him joy. For him to see his children walk in his instructions. Any parent is joy and brought to tears when their child walks in their instruction. Yes. Let us turn back to 1 Corinthians 12. 1 Corinthians 12. All I come to tell you today is that you're not far off. You got the book, but you got to start doing what's in the book. You got to do what's in the book. You got to do what's in the book. It's just that simple. There's no way around it. Verse 20, 12 and 20. But now are there many members, yet but one body. Yet but it's only one body. And that is the body of Mashiach. It is the body. That is the body of Mashiach. Tightly, jointly fitted together. And the tightly, jointly fitted together is his law, is his statutes, is his commandments, is his orders, and is his judgments on mankind. That's the tightly and jointly fitted together. You got to get back on the path. I know y'all feel like y'all operating in love in the church and Christianity, but that's unfeigned love. That ain't real love. Because the only way to love him, if you love me, keep my commandments. If you should enter into life, keep my commandments. If you say that you love me, keep my commandments. You're not keeping the commandments, people. He tells you how to love him. Simple. It's not hard. We make it hard. Got to get back to the book. And the eye cannot say, verse 21, the eye cannot say unto the hand, I have no need of thee, nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you. Now this the Hebrew. This the Hebrew and the church. This to the Hebrew and the church. You don't get to do that. Because when I go back up to verse 18, it says, as it have pleased Yahweh. Verse 22, no, much more those members of the body which seem to be more feeble are necessary. So you think the church not necessary? That's not up to you. That's not up to the conscious community because you feel like they're feeble. Listen to the book. Our church may feel like the Hebrews are feeble. And those members of the body which we think to be less honorable, upon these we bestow more abundant honor. And our uncomely parts have more abundant comeliness. For our comely parts have no need. But Yahweh have tempered the body together, having given more abundant honor to that part which lacketh, that there should be no schism, division in the body, but that the members should have the same care one for another. And whether one member suffer, all members suffer with it. That's why we talk about there's an individual prayer and there's a corporate prayer. There's an individual chastisement and there is a corporate chastisement. Listen to what the book says. And whether one member suffer, all members suffer with it. Or one member be honored, all the members rejoice with it. Now ye are the body of Mashiach, and members in particular. The body. What is the body of Mashiach? The body of Mashiach is the commandments. The body of the Mashiach is the laws. It is the statutes. It is the ordinance. It is the judgments. It is the chastisement. It is the correction. It is the direction and the directive that shall keep us on what is this called the straight and narrow path, which is as ye for the old paths, that ye may be brought back into the way. Yahweh. Yahweh. We may be brought back into Yahweh. Back into the path of Yahweh. Yahweh is the path that we need to get up, is the path of righteousness. And I'm bringing you back because this requires discipline. This discipline will bring you into morals, principles of Yahweh, over, inner, and understanding of Yahweh's plan for salvation. Listen, the salvation plan is so beautiful. The salvation plan is so deep. You can teach on the salvation plan of Yah for years. every day and never finish with it. When you deal with each portion as it is. Like I told y'all, the first, like I told you, Pesach is what? Justification. Unleavened bread, purification. First fruits, glorification. That's glorification. First fruits is glorification. Then what's after first fruits? The giving of Torah. That was our salvation plan. He said, look, after y'all been glorified. Now I'm finna bring y'all into Torah. And if you notice what's he bringing into Torah, he said, put the yeast, put it back in the bread. Put it back in the loaf now. Because now y'all have my doctrine. Y'all have my word. I had y'all take it out because I had to rid y'all of the doctrine of man, the doctrine of Mizraim, Egypt. Now that I have brought you into this place and y'all have went through a justification, a purification, and a glorification, now y'all receiving the Torah. Now we can put it back in because we are Echad. I have to do no separating now because now you are my people that are called by my name. And because you have humbled yourself. You understand me? Y'all know Chronicles. When my people that are called by my name shall humble themselves, fall on their face. Then you're going to see what Yahweh is going to do. That's all this is. You know what I'm saying? It keep moving back to the same thing. That's what I love about it. It keep moving back to the feast days. It keep moving back to the commandments. And it's not heavy. And a baby can understand this teaching. A baby can understand this teaching. So that's it. I want to keep it short. I want to keep it here. So maybe that will incline people to maybe listen to the entirety of it. And then get to seeing and look. All the stuff that we keeping from Christianity ain't biblical. That's not Christmas in the Bible. You know, I see the word Easter, but that's not the point in time to observe Passover. That ain't the point in time. That ain't the point in time for first fruits in January. How you gonna listen? How y'all gonna have first fruits in January, then y'all come back in March and do Passover? My wife just got there. Okay, yeah, we on point now. Yeah. How you gonna observe first fruits with the church teach in January when y'all get y'all income tax check? Then y'all come back in the month of Abib around March or April. Y'all come back around March or April, and then you gonna do unleavened bread. You gonna do Passover and unleavened bread before. First, you're going to do first fruits before Passover, unleavened bread. You out of order. You out of order. You out of the body. You not, you know what I'm saying? You're not tightly jointed. You know what I'm saying? That brings division. Yes. You bringing schism in the body. That's schism. I would pray that people listen to the entire this because I should have brought this out first. About how the church is doing the first fruit in January, then they turn around and took, because that's the plan. Is you can't change the plan. See, that's Christianity always changes something. But see, it's going to catch up with you in a true house and with true disciples of Yahweh, because Yahweh going to bring it out. And Yahweh going to give it to his ambassadors. So that's just something for you to think on. How in the world can you change the feast days? You're changing too much. We thank you. We love you. And we adore you here at KHQ Ministries. And we say unto you, Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem.